You've done your research, poured over before and afters. YouTube testimonials moved you to tears. The clinic called you brother. You were promised the moon and stars, and now you're finally here on the day of your hair transplant. Only something just doesn't feel right. So welcome to reality and reality bites, especially when it's hidden behind flashy Instagram handles and over-edited thumbnails. Today we're peeling back the curtain on what really happens at commercial run-of-the-mill hair mills, hair transplant centers in Turkey and in India, be it in Mumbai, Chandigarh or Hyderabad. These aren't just mistakes, they're deliberate traps, and if you're not careful, you could fall headfirst into them. These are the 10 shocking surprises patients face on transplant day, a day that should have been full of hope, but turns out to be a rude awakening. That charismatic surgeon who made you feel heard in all the preoperative Zoom calls is nowhere to be seen. In his place is an unfamiliar face, a junior doctor or an assistant who blandly says, "Don't worry sir, we do hundreds of these." And this is called bait and switch, the most common tactic in the trade of surgical hair restoration these days. Clinics dangle a well-known name to draw you in, but the surgery is offloaded to technicians or underqualified staff. You feel betrayed, but now it's too late. You've traveled a long distance, many times from the other end of the globe. You've taken leave and you have paid up. And this is when many patients choose silence over confrontation. Ask yourself, if the captain doesn't fly the plane, is it really safe to take off? And even if the promised doctor is present, they often merely supervise. Extraction, delegated. Slit making, done by assistants. Implantation, you guessed it, done by hired staff. Itinerant workers who can be hired by the hour. What they never told you is that FUE isn't team sport. The surgeon's hands make or break the surgery. Delegation isn't modern, it's irresponsible. And when things go wrong, the same doctor will say, "But I never performed the surgery myself." And the illusion of doctor-led procedures collapses. And then you realize that the clinic is just a factory and you were just another production line number. The initial quote given to you over the email or on WhatsApp was just a mere bait. The real cost you're going to pay is for you a moving target. You signed up for 3,000 grafts at a given cost per graft, but on the morning of the surgery you are told that your scalp needs more density with more grafts. So 1,000 extra grafts are going to be added. And then they throw in surprises like PRP sessions, pain-free anesthesia, follicle boost serums, and advanced implanters. And the fine print becomes a financial chokehold. And you never planned for this, but you're vulnerable, half undressed in an OT gown, being told that your result will suffer unless you pay more, and pay today. And that's not informed consent, that's coercion. They were available 24/7 during the sales phase, but the very next day after the surgery, your texts go unanswered. WhatsApp blue ticks, but no replies. Emails bounce, and the receptionist says that the doctor is on leave. And you panic. There's bleeding, there's redness, or a follicle popped out. Who do you turn to? On an average, I receive about 3 SOS calls or WhatsApp messages or emails every single week. People who went to a shoddy clinic, got an irresponsible hair transplant done, and now with complications, desperately seeking help, crying "Mayday, Mayday."
Mayday, Mayday, emergency, emergency.
A transplant is not a one-day story. The healing phase is where support matters, and ethical clinics often give you follow-up charts. They give you guidance and a direct line to the surgeon. But many others ghost you as soon as the payment clears. In medicine, silence is malpractice. But whom do you turn to? You traveled so far for your surgery, but in the OT you're surrounded by staff speaking an alien language you don't understand. Instructions are barked in haste. You're confused, you're anxious, and frankly scared, petrified. The worst thing is your discomfort isn't even noticed. Clear communication is the pillar of safety. But in many high-volume clinics, surgical technicians are hired for speed, not for sensitivity. You deserve dignity, not to be made to feel like a disoriented tourist with a hijacked scalp. You're led to the procedure room and something feels off. The air smells of disinfectant, but the bed isn't fresh. The trolley has open syringes. The assistant isn't gloved properly. What you're seeing isn't a surgical theater. It's a cosmetic setup masquerading as medicine. While an OT, an operation theater, should be the temple of asepsis, but clinics cut corners, reusing tools, bypassing autoclaving, even skipping proper draping. Infection, after all, is the most dangerous transplant complication. But ensuring OT protocols and discipline takes time. It takes money. And most of all, it takes ethics. And what you don't see may hurt you the most. Before you even sit in the operating chair, the front desk demands 100% upfront payment, sometimes in cash and often without any receipt. And you haven't even seen the OT, and the doctor is nowhere around. You don't know who's doing the surgery, but your money gets locked in. This isn't healthcare, it's hostage taking, a hostage crisis in the making. Ethical clinics, and there are many the world over, don't take all the money before you enter the operation theater. And they provide invoices, breakups, and GST compliant bills. But high volume clinics want just one thing: your wallet emptied before a single follicle is planted. No bills means no responsibility, and you have nothing to prove if things begin to go south. Post-operatively, you begin to heal, or you begin not to heal at all. Either way, you have questions, and plenty of them. Maybe you develop folliculitis, or you develop shock loss. But the consultant who sold you the procedure is now unreachable. There's no doctor's number. The clinic helpline loops endlessly, and you're left crowdsourcing for help. You seek advice on Reddit, you seek advice on YouTube, and you seek advice from Dr. Bhatti. Medicine isn't retail after all. You can't just return the product. A hair transplant is a surgical procedure with a healing arc of many months. If your clinic treats you like a ghost the moment you leave, they were never invested in your well-being. And now you ask for a bill. The receptionist starts to avoid eye contact. Sir, it's all internal, she says. And you realize that you paid 1 to 2 lakh rupees, but you got no paper trail, no proof of payment, no patient ID, and no record of who operated. This does not happen in any other field of medical science. But this is deliberate. No bills means no liability. If things go wrong, there is no way to file a complaint or claim insurance or even prove you're a patient. Clinics that avoid receipts do so to avoid responsibility. And in doing so, they discard the last shred of medical accountability. You imagined a consultation, a proper consultation the day before the procedure. You imagined that your face will be analyzed, the doctor will spend time with you, your preferences will be considered, maybe even a simulation on computer. But here you are minutes before surgery, and a junior assistant draws a line with a marker pen on your head. No mirror, no conversation. Conversations cannot happen because you have a language barrier. You just told, sir, this is a standard design. But you keep thinking to yourself that your hairline is what defines your face because you've done enough research. That the hairline isn't a template. It should be bespoke, individualized, designed by a surgeon, as on the videos that you see very often. A surgeon who understands aesthetics and a surgeon who listens to you. But unfortunately, in these conveyor belt clinics, every patient gets the same hairline design. Low, flat, and dense. It may look very impressive on day one after the procedure, but in the long run, it looks artificial, crowds the face, and exhausts the donor area. This is not design, it's vandalism, rape of the limited donor. So these 10 surprises, which are pretty common, are the industry's open secrets. Yet they are kept under wraps, and you as a patient turn a blind eye even after watching videos like these because you crave discounts. And you're driven by hope. Hope that come whatever may, you are going to look like your younger self because the doctor you're consulting has promised you that. You don't want to hear any sane voice. You just rely on hope that there is someone who speaks so nicely, who's dressed in a suit, and is going to finally give you a fair chance. Clinics weaponize that hope and distract you with glamour, discounts, and fast-tracked dates. But behind this glitz is a darker truth. Most clinics are businesses first, caregivers later, if at all. At Darlington's clinic, like in many other clinics the world over, we reverse this formula. No marketing masquerades, no ghost doctors. I perform each and every surgery myself. All surgical steps, anesthesia, harvesting of grafts, and slit making are done by me personally. And you leave with a follow-up roadmap, a clear roadmap. You leave with my number and the assurance that we do not disappear after you make the payment. So thank you for watching. If you have any question about hair loss treatment for men and women, about hair transplants in my clinics in Mumbai and Chandigarh, do let me know. Leave a comment in the comment section below and I'll get back to you shortly. Have a nice day and God bless you.